Om Atmadattvam Shodhayami Swadha. And another Uddhani of water. Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha. And take another Uddhani of water. Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha. And wipe your hand. With your base of the thumb finger, wipe your mouth 2 times. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now wash your hand. With index, middle and ring finger, touch your upper lip and lower lip. Wash your hand. And with your index finger and thumb together, touch your right nostril and the left nostril. And with your ring finger and thumb together, touch your right eye, left eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hand. Now with your little finger and thumb together, touch your navel, right chest, left chest, and with all the fingers joined together, touch the crown of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder and heart center. Wash your hand.
Let us now enter into the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution. Please sit in a deep space of awareness. Drop any of your thoughts. The Sankalpa is the most important aspect because you are creating a conscious resolution during this time. What resolution you create becomes a reality, becomes your muscle memory while doing the yoga. The conscious resolution is a very, very important component. Visualize how you want your body to be, your mind to be, how powerful, flexible, strong you want your body to be. See how your body is manifesting the extraordinary powers. See that already happening as a reality in your life. Now, from the same space, let's enter into the conscious resolution, the Sankalpa.
Om Mamopata Samasta Duritakshayadvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Shubhe Shobhane Muhurte Adhya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Pararthe Shri Svetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvatamanvantare Ashtavinsatitame Nitya Yuge Pradhame Pade Jambodvipe Bharatavarše Paratakande Neroho Dakshine Parshve Shakabdhe Asmin Vartamane Vyavaharike Prabhavadinam Chastyaha Samvatsaranam Madhye Shobhakritanama Samvatsare Dakshinayane Lakshmi Venkateshwara Ritau Shubhamase Shubhapakshe Shubhaditau Shubhavasarayuktayam Shubhanakshatra Shubhayoga Shubhakarana Evam Guna Visheshana Visistayam Asyam Shubhaditau Shri Kailasonnata Dvadashanta Shyamala Pitharudha मीनाक्षी सुंदरेश्वर भिन्न स्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्यतुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागम सारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत् परम शिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्री चिन्ह काहलादि समस्त बिरदा बल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संग सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्ग वर्ष विश्रानजीमूत परमत कलभघेसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु शबन शाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षण नरहारह ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् ऋषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनां अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवच्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रचित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्त्रे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वतमनुक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणी पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रीलश्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थं तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्तिसिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं क्षेमस्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं समस्त मंगलावाप्यर्थं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थं पूर्णारोग्ययुक्त दृढ़गात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये. Now wash your hand with the uddarni of water. Om abhaupasprisya.
Now, please place the Panchapatram and Uddarni away from you. It's time that we get started with the yoga. Please put it aside. We're going to be beginning with the skeleton dance. So please come up to your feet. Please stand up on your mats. Make sure that you're putting your Panchapatram Uddarni away so that you don't stamp on them. We'll begin with the skeleton dance. I'm seeing some of you are having sweaters, jackets. I request all of you to see if you can remove your sweaters or jackets and put it aside. Let there be as much as prana entering your body. I understand it may be cold in some of our places, but if you can allow, especially men, Ellie and all, you have a separate room. So if you can do it, without your upper cloth. That is the best, because you're going to allow all that prana enter into your body. Okay, so start moving on your mat, left and right, front and back. Slowly start moving. Slowly shake your hands, shake your legs, build up the pace. You're going to visualize yourself as a skeleton that is disconnected at every joint of your body, and start shaking and moving your entire body intensely. Please begin. Kailasa Kashi, shake, shake, shake. Kailasa Kashi, shake. Come on, move, move, move.
Nithyanandam, 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 Anandam, Nithyanandam, Anandam, Nithyanandam, 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 Anandam, Nithyanandam, Anandam.
Shake, shake, shake. Last few seconds. Shake intensely. Relax. Just stop. Stop as is where you are. Don't fix your mat. Leave your mats. Just stand. Just stand. Don't worry about your mat, your dress. Just stand. Stand still. Drop your hands by your hips. Leave your body loose. Feel the intense energy pulsating at your fingertips, at your toes, and your entire body radiating heat. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhale and exhale deeply. Slowly relax. Now you can adjust your mat and be seated on your mat. See, whenever we do any intense activity, let that energy stay in you. Don't let it dissipate immediately. Yes, please settle down. Now you can adjust your mat, your devices, your phone. You can put all of that aside. Today we are going to be beginning with the Trithiya Vinyasa Krama. So we're going to be beginning the Trithiya Vinyasa Krama. The second set, as of yesterday, we finished the Prathama Vinyasa Krama, the first set of 108 asanas. Now we're going to enter into the next set of 208. Sit comfortably. Sit in a posture that brings ease to your physical and mental space. It can be Ardha Padmasana, or Vajra. Let's perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale. The fire in your stomach being kindled. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. And the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Next asana, Samasana. In Samasana, you're going to sit cross-legged. Sit cross-legged. Place your knees. Now take a deep, long breath and hold. Slowly exhale. Now inhale as deep as possible and exhale as deep as possible. Inhale as deep as possible and exhale as deep as possible. The internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्रार्थने पतिः.
Relax. Let's now go to the next asana. The next asana is going to be Muktasana. Now, place the left foot against the genital region. Bring the left foot against the genital. The right foot on top of the left. Now place your hands facing downwards, palms facing downwards on top of your knees. The internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
निपीड्य स्युमिनीं सूक्ष्मं दक्षिणेन तरगुल्पतः वामं याम्येन गुल्पेन मुक्तासनमिदं भवेत्.
Relax. Let's now go to the next step, the next asana. The next asana for every one of us is going to be Siddhasana. As you continue to be seated in the Muktasana, bring your gaze towards your third eye. Bring your gaze towards your third eye. Sit straight. Please make sure that you're sitting straight. Nimmanda Karanga. Bring your gaze towards your third eye. The internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Continue visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थाणुममेत्रियो चलदृशा पश्यन् भ्रवोरन्तरं चैतन्मोक्षकपाटभेदजनकं
Bring your gaze towards the ground in front of you. Bring your gaze towards the ground in front of the breath inside you in the Jalandhara Bandha. Tighten your perineum, pull your butt in, tighten your perineum, lock the breath. Out and pull your stomach in and up into the Uddiyana Bandha and hold as comfortably as possible and relax. Now repeat the same once again. In lock the breath in the Jalandhara Bandha and exhale forcefully. Pull your stomach in and up. Visualize the
दानो सेवनि मदितासकोठानो दचपद की एडी जोई वेदमदि लगावे सोई.
relax. Let's now go to the next asana. The next asana is going to be Rudrasana 2. Now as you continue to be seated in the Siddhyasana, rotate the hands on top of your knees, placing them into the Midlu Mudra. Touch your index and thumb fingers together. Place your palms on top of your knees, palms facing up towards the sky. Now bring your gaze towards your third eye. Please sit straight. Look up into your third eye. Continue to perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale. As the breath goes in, visualize the Jatharagni being kindled, the fire kindled in your navel center. And exhale. Visualize yourself as Lord Rudra, the fierce dimension of Paramashiva in your inner space, and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
वामचरण पर दक्षिण राखे एक झुक दे ऐसे विधि दाखे. वाम पग तले माहिले कोर दक्षिण के जो बाहर ले मोर.
Relax. Now, continuing to be seated in the same position, bring your gaze towards your nose. Please bring your gaze towards the nose. This is the Santadhunasana. Continue to perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale and see the breath kindling the Jatharagni in your navel center. The internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, embodying tranquility and the unshakable presence of the nature around us.
आसन को गुण मन की चंचलता मीट,
Let's now enter into the next asana. The next asana is going to be Siddhasana 2. Now, maintain one heel on top of the other. Bring one heel on top of the other. From the previous posture, we are going to slightly move our knees apart so the heels come on top of each other. Place your heels on top of each other. Try to pull it as much as possible. As you continue to be seated in this position, you are going to now bring your hands to the navel center, cupping one palm over the other, and place them in front of your navel center. Cup your palms. And place them at your navel center. Place your palms in a cupped position like a lotus in front of your navel center. Continue to perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale and see the breath awakening the Jatharagni at your navel center. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
रुजकाय समासेन सिद्धासनमुदीरितं प्रसार्य भुवि पादौ तु दोर्भ्यामङ्गुष्ठमादरात्.
Relax. Let's now enter into the next asana. The next asana that we are going to perform is going to be Bandhayoni asana. In Bandhayoni asana, we are going to be performing the Shanmukhi mudra. First, as you continue to be seated in the same position, let us now place our hands in the position to perform the Shanmukhi pranayama. So place the little fingers beneath the bottom lip. Your little fingers beneath the bottom lip. You can all see and do it together. Place your little fingers beneath the bottom lip. Place the ring fingers above the upper lip. Place the middle fingers on top of your nostrils. Don't close it yet. Just place it on top of the nostrils. Index fingers on top of the eyes. And the thumbs on your ears. Now when we perform the pranayama, we'll be performing the Shanmukhi pranayama. You're going to inhale through your nose and lock the prana inside you by closing all the 5 senses. Be gentle but be firm. Inhale, sit straight. Inhale deeply and lock the prana, the breath inside you. Hold as comfortably as possible and exhale through your nose. You can open your nostrils by moving your middle finger. And once again, inhale and repeat. Visualize Swamiji in
महादेव बन्धयोन्यासने शृणौ यत्कृत्वा केचरो भूत्वा विचरेदि.
breath to the normal. Please bring your breath to the normal. Take a few inhalations and exhalations. Let's now perform the Virasana. In Virasana, place one foot on the thigh and other foot under the opposite thigh. So from your heels, you're going to now place your feet on top of the thigh and under the thigh. So one foot is under and one foot is on top. Now, as you are seated in this position, bring your hands into the Bindu Mudra. Hands on top of your knees in the Bindu Mudra. Perform the Samana Kumbhaka, the Mula Bandha, pulling your perineum in. Inhale, visualize the air entering and kindling the fire of the Jatharagni in your navel center. Visualize and embody the space and state of bravery in your inner space. And the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
एकं पादमथैकस्मिन् विन्यस्योरुणि संस्थितः इतरस्मिंस्तथा चोरुं वीरासनमुदीरितम्.
Let us now enter into the next asana. The next asana is going to be Valmikasana. Now, place your left heel. Place your left heel on the right side of the generative organ and place your right foot on top of the left leg, toes by the knees. Bring your toes closer to the knees this time. The leg which is there on the top, bring it closer to the knees. The bottom leg is at your perineum. The upper leg is on top of your knees. The sole of your feet comes on top of your knees. Now, place your hands on top of your knees in the Bindu Mudra, thumb and index finger touching together, and bring your gaze towards your third eye. Bring your gaze towards your third eye. Continue to perform the Samana Kumbhaka. In every asana that we are doing, you are going to perform the Mula Bandha, which is making sure with awareness you pull your butt in, tighten your butt, so your whole body stabilizes. So please perform the Mula Bandha and the Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale and visualize the air awakening the Jatharagni in your inner space, in your navel center. And exhale. Now bring your gaze towards your third eye. Bring your gaze to a third eye. Visualize the great sage Valmiki in your inner space.
दावा पका की पगतली पुनी हेडी है जोय पना दिश मेड्रा दक्षिण आनी लगा वे सोय दच पदा की एडी जोई बाई नाली लगा वे सोई अंगुष्ठ गोड़ान लगथा राखे पुनः पगतली धरत धाखे.
Let us now move to the next asana. The next asana we are going to perform is going to be the Joni Mudrasana. As you continue to be seated in the same position, bring your gaze towards your nose. Bring your gaze towards your nose. In the previous asana, we were having our gaze towards the third eye. Now, we are going to move our gaze towards the nose. Continue to perform the Samana Kumbhaka. Ensure that you are continuing to be seated with the Mula Bandha. Visualize the Yoni Mandala in your inner space. And the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
वामपादकी पकतली जाही माहिली कोरी जोनिता हांदरि वैसे उलटो पावचु मोरी.
Let us now enter into the next asana. The next asana is going to be Yoni asana. Now place your palms on your knees, palms facing downward. Place your palms, continue to be seated in the same way. Just turn your palms towards the ground, placing them on your knees. Now bring your gaze towards your third eye. Bring your gaze towards the third eye. Visualize the Yoni Mandala in your inner space. And the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
योन्यासनं पर्वतेन योगं योनफले नीलं तत्कालफललं तावत् खेचरो यावदेव हि पादयोगेन चक्रस्य लिङ्गाग्रां योनियोजयेत् अन्यत् पादमुरो दत्वा तत्र योन्यासनं भुवि.
Relax. Let's now go to the next asana. The next asana we are going to be performing is going to be Baddhasana 3. Now, sit and bring your soles of the feet together, holding them with both your hands. Bring your feet together. All of you bring your feet together and hold your feet in this position. Flap your knees so that you're able to get your knees all the way towards the ground. You can flap your knees like the wings of a butterfly, pulling your knees down towards the ground. Now, visualize Lord Veerabhadra in your inner space and the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
घुल्पौ च वृषणस्यादः सीवन्याः पार्श्वयोक्षिपेत् सव्यघुल्पं तदा सव्ये दक्षगुल्पं तु दक्षिणे पार्श्वपादौ च पाणिभ्यां दृढं बद्ध्वा सुनिश्चलं भद्रासनं भवेदेतत् सर्वव्याधिविनाशनम्.
Let's now move to the next step. The next asana is going to be Aghorasana. Now, while you have your feet in the same position, you're going to press your tongue up the roof of your mouth. Bring your gaze towards your third eye. So place your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Push your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Place your tongue touching the upper palate. Now, cup your hands. Place your hands like a cup with your right hand and cover your mouth. Close the left nostril with the index finger and inhale through the right nostril and close both the nostrils. Hold the breath comfortably and then exhale through the left nostril. Now repeat the pranayama on the other side as well. Continue to place your tongue on top of your upper palate. Now visualize yourself as an aghori in your inner space, and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
पूर्वक हो बिस्रिका जोई वाही विधि जो कीजे सोई सब अंगुरी मुख बाहर आने मुख खोपने संपुट कर ठाने जिब उल्टा तलावे धारे हाथांसो आरंभ पुनि करे.
Relax. Let's now enter into the next asana. The next asana is going to be Kaneri Pavasana. Now, as you are seated in this position, have your toes together and heels apart. So you're going to slightly move your heels apart, making sure that your toes continue to touch each other. Bring a gap between your heels, toes together but heels apart. Toes together but heels apart. Now place your elbows on top of your heels and place your chin on top of your palms. Place your elbows on top of your heels. If you're not able to place it on your heels, try moving your feet a little more forward. So if you move your feet a little more forward and place your elbows on top of your heels, chin on top of your palms. Bring your gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a female elephant drinking water. Visualize yourself as an elephant, female elephant drinking water. Now, have the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
ग्वाली पवासन कहियो है जैसे याहो में जाने विदित से दो घुल्भ माहिला जानो अरुएड्या विच कहोनी टानो.
Let us now enter into the next asana. The next asana is going to be Parasana. Now, please sit with your knees raised. Sit with your knees raised. Now, you're going to insert your arms between your thighs and your calves. You're going to insert your hands between your thighs and your calves. Now interlace your fingers and lift your feet off the mat. See, some of you are placing it from under. We're going to place it from inside. Okay, so as you can see, bend your knees and then insert your hands in the gap between your thighs and your calves. We'll show it to every one of you once again. So as you are seated in this position, right, having your legs like this, you're going to insert your hands from the gap, and then you're going to lift it and hold and try and interlock your fingers. Try to balance yourself in this posture. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
ततोर्ध्वं रेचयेत् वायुं मृदुनिश्वास संयुतं रेचयेस्तस्य विख्यातः प्राणास्मस् अयाकरः.
Relax. Let's next go to the next asana, The next asana is going to be Gopi Chandasana. In Gopi Chandasana, interlace your fingers around the feet with the soles together and try and lift your feet as high as possible, getting it as close as possible towards your throat. You're going to try and lift your feet off the ground, pull it as high as possible, as close as possible, and balance slowly. Slowly lift and balance. Try and hold as much as you can. You're going to be performing the Rechaka Kumbhaka. In Rechaka Kumbhaka, you're going to focus on slowly exhaling the air from your lungs. Hold and balance. Embody the state and space of a king in your inner space. And the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
पूरब विधिपगा का अंगूठा ताकू पारा से एडी हृदय लगावे ताकसी हडिया आगुली परी राशे निष्ठनाशा अग्र आसन कौगुन इधि पिगला की पवन तंब जालंधर बंद लगे.
The next asana is going to be Udarasana. In Udarasana, you're going to sit with the soles of your feet together. Now, you're going to insert your hands underneath your legs. Okay? Now, you're going to pull your feet up off the ground and interlock your fingers on top of your feet. Interlock your fingers on top of your feet. Bring the feet up close towards your chest. Try and get it as high as possible. Try to bring it towards your chin. You can get it as much as possible and hold and balance. Now bring your gaze towards the nose. Visualize your body is free from any kind of diseases and defects. And the internal japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
दो पकतली संपुट ठाने उभय हस्त करे वरद हिटाने अंगुष्ठ दो वो समट हरावे चिबका नीचे ताहि लगावे.
Let's go to the next. Now, the next asana we are going to be performing is going to be Visistasana. In Visistasana, sit with your feet together and once again insert your arms under your legs, and you're going to this time try and raise your feet as high as possible towards your face. See, the previous one we brought it as close as possible towards our chin. Now we are going to try and raise it as high as possible towards the face. Okay, we're going to try and lift it as high as possible towards the face. You lift it as much as you can. Try and lift it as much as you can. Come on, balance. Do it slowly. Look at one point. Gaze at one point and lift. You'll be able to get a much better balance. Come on, lift, lift, lift. All of you lift. Yes, Malaysia, all of you are balancing. That is good. Malaysia female team is balancing. Malaysia male team, none of you are even lifting. Malaysia male team, all of you lift your feet. Kailasa, Kashi, do it slowly and try holding. Okay, as much as all of you want to laugh, please don't laugh in this asana and hold. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space. and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
दोवो पगतली जोड़ी संपुट करे, हाथ दोवो पग बिचियानी तले करे बारे यावे, कहून्या माहिली संदिराशे, पाचे दोवो हाथ की करी, पगा ऊंचे काकसी सास परिराशे.
Relax. The next asana we are all going to be performing is going to be Bhujasana. In Bhujasana, from the seated position, lift both your legs on top of your respective shoulders. So you're going to place your hands down and try and place your feet as high as possible on your shoulders. Once again, this is also a balancing position. See, every time a balancing posture comes, right? Bring awareness to your core, perform the Moola Bandha, which will stabilize your entire body. Okay? So now in this position, as you can see, you're going to place your legs on top of your shoulders. Your knees come as close as possible to your shoulders. And then bring your arms underneath the legs and interlace your fingers at the back of your neck. Okay, you're going to try and interlace your fingers at the back of your neck. So all of you can first perform the initial step of this. All of you can perform the first step of this, which is bring one leg at a time and hold. Okay, once you're comfortable with holding one leg at a time, then you can place the second leg on top. And try and balance yourself in this position. You can take the help of your hand, initial balance. After that, you can lift your hands off the ground and try balancing in this position. Okay. So this is the first step that we need to do. All of you please enter into the asana and try and hold the position. There will be a sweet spot where you're able to lift and hold. So hold there. Now you're going to visualize yourself as a cobra in your inner space, and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
शीर्षासनं तु विज्ञेयं कक्षासनमतः परं ग्रीवासनं च परमं भुजासनमिहोच्यते.
Good. Now let's enter into the next asana. The next asana is going to be Kalyanasana. In Kalyanasana, as you are seated in the same position, you are now going to try and tuck your hands behind your butt. So you're going to, from the same position, in the previous one we were holding on to our hand. Now in this, you're going to try and get your hand behind your butt. So this is Kalyanasana. All of you can try performing the Kalyanasana. Once again, it's balance based. Kailasa Malaysia, LA team, all of you try and lift your body, lift your feet off the ground. Salem, balance panunga. As Devi Parashakti in your inner space, and the internal japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
दोवो हाथ पगम विचाने तनको गोड़ा नीचे टाने, बहुरी पाघत्या बाहर लियाबे, पुनः युगति ऐसे टहराबे, बहरी मोड़ पाथाने आने, करी पर लिए ताकसी ठाने, दोवो पाद अदर कर राखे, नासा अग्र दृष्टि को धाके.
Relax, all of you. Today we are going to be having 1 hour yoga, which we are going to be completing now, as we are going to prepare ourselves. Please lie down on your back and relax. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Now, slowly bring your awareness to your feet, to your hands, and slowly come back to a seated position. Slowly come back to a seated position. Now, let's all visualize Swamiji in our inner space. And sit in a relaxed, comfortable position. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And let us chant the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu Om Nithya